numbers. So this is back before high school, just before we finished up high school. You were tapping into some low 60s numbers. Here you're going to see in terms of direction, you're moving pretty efficiently out. We can see at launch, we're getting just kind of the right amount of rotation from pelvis and chest. And then here we're going to see where the difference kind of is in terms of rotation. So here we can see you're developing, you're using glove arm a little bit more. You're starting to develop a little bit more bend. You can see how the ball's down here, a little bit more bend in elbow here, and then quite a bit more open to the third base side than you were here. So in this, with velo going, being at its highest, you were moving efficiently towards the target. Here we're starting to rotate a little bit early. We can even see in this front stride foot, you see how that toe is starting to turn in?
Yeah.
So that's driving rotation a little bit for you. And oftentimes when we get like excessively rotated with chest at launch, we start to get this bent arm path. So you can see as we work overhead, we kind of maintain that flexion. You can see it's a little more significant in this one here, but then as we come down, let's see, a lot of pulling. You're going to be like working kind of around the ball, and that's what's causing that bullet to backspin, kind of slicing it a little bit more than you normally do. You are, horizontal in your neutral, but here we're going to see better posture prior to high school. And then here it's hard to see without the behind view, but you can see how this lean, see how that hike, that lean towards this side is a little bit more significant. So ultimately it's like, this is kind of like part one of diagnosing what's going on with you is like through high school season, we can lose stability, we can lose rotation, just with all the fatigue. And then having no break and having to roll right into high school is going to add on to those things. So ultimately, I see you already just in the 2 weeks, like you had a good outing yesterday, your best of the summer, and it's just getting back into low intensity, getting back into good pattern work, being efficient. That's going to help with posture, and then your ball flight is likely going to migrate back to what makes you really good in that horizontal. But I also wouldn't mind preserving some of that backspin on your pitches, getting more swings and misses with that. So ultimately, we still have to dig a little bit deeper to find out what's the root of these things, but the beginning of the motion and that early rotation with that bent arm path right away is kind of what's setting you up for a little bit more bullet, and why you feel your pitches were flat, because they were bullet. So we kind of want to get away from that and go either in that backspin direction or getting back some of that horizontal. Okay?